Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum students. How are you? So today we are going to talk about how to cite references in your um, proposal, in your thesis. What is the use of references? I believe you are familiar with referencing methods because most of you have did assignment during your undergraduate studies, and you were, I guess, you were exposed with Chicago manual style and footnotes because this is the most referencing methods used in Islamic studies, particularly, and in humanities studies generally. All right, so before we carry on, let's revise. Why are we using references in our academic writing? The most important purpose of having referencing, and especially when you incorporate citations in your academic work, is to avoid plagiarism. Okay, here we have the word citations. Whenever we cited from external sources, from our literatures, it is important for us um, to put the references, the sources from where we refer the citation or we get the citation. Why is this important? Because this is to acknowledge our sources. What happens if you fail to acknowledge the sources? You risk the crime of plagiarism in your academic work. And in academic writing, plagiarism is regarded as very serious and very trivial matter to your academic pursuit or your credibility, of course. Yeah. And the other reason for having referencing methods or references in your sources is to show the academic quality of it. Yeah. Say for example, you subscribe to Chicago Manual, then it gives the impressions that you're coming from this background, humanities studies, Islamic studies, and that's why you choose to do the referencing using Chicago manual style. If you use Vancouver, if you use APA style, if you use Turobian style, so on and so forth. So it actually give the credibility of the area of which you are affiliated with. And also, the reason why you need citation is because you want your academic writing to be organized. Yeah? You want your academic writing to be organized, so you have proper way and a uniform way of citing your references. So this is a kind of repetition, but I would say that these are important reminder why you need to have references, as I've mentioned just now. You risk the crime of plagiarism if you fail to mention, to cite the sources. Uh, but also you have to remember that when you directly quote it, or even if you paraphrase, like you have a sentence but you rephrase it, but you know that such idea, um, important findings, say for example, Haslina found that uh, most of the Muslims in Kuala Lumpur fail to, say for example, fail to exhibit or fail to practice their religion despite the good understanding they have towards religion. And you know that this finding has been reported in particular article or research report. So you need to cite, even though you did not quote or cite the sentence word by word, but you are paraphrasing, you are rephrasing Haslina's statement in her article. So you need to acknowledge that. Yeah, you need to cite that. So and secondly, when you do referencing, you as if you are telling your readers that there have been research done in the area that you are doing earlier before yourself. Yeah, and you want people to know that these were the people, these were the works that have been written in this area that you are researching at. Yeah, which means that people will be able to know, to trace back what have been researched before, and of course that open up new ways for you to research in the area in future. Uh, and when you have references, you also give the impressions to people that you really understand what you are doing. You really understand what you're doing because you can connect with your idea with the previous research. Yeah. As a matter of fact, your current research is like presenting a new perspective, yeah, of what have been researched in the past. And with that new contribution of yours, you are actually contributing something to the body of knowledge. Yeah. Um, and then, of course, referencing is helping you to uh, play your role either as a student, as a researcher, as a lecturer in the area of your studies. Yeah. So anything that you write, even a single sentence that makes sense to the area of the study, is in fact a contribution. Sometimes you do a very thorough research, you have good number of respondents, or you have covered quite significant number of literatures, only to get to one line of sentence that explain the significance of your research, and this is great contribution already in the academic uh, or venture. Okay, and finally, you need referencing in your works, because at the end of your work, there is a section called either bibliography or references. So people who come later after you, who want to do research in the same area, would benefit from your references. So this is a great service for people who come after you. Okay. Now, what are the styles? I think you are already familiar with some styles. I think the most styles that are familiar to all of us would be this one, APA style, Chicago manual style, yeah. Now people from social sciences, especially psychology, and I think political science, subscribe to this style of writing. Oh, sorry, style of referencing. It is called APA style. It's a longer name or title is American Psychological Association. Yeah. Now, as I mentioned just now, this is much used in psychology, anthropology, sociology, education, so on and so forth. So the most important thing in APA style of referencing is to share the author, yeah, the author and the date of the publication. So, for example, you will get Haslina, after the citation or after the sentence, full stop, and then in bracket you have Haslina, comma 1993, which means that this citation is taken from Aslina article or book, and it was written in 1993. Okay, for a very detailed explanation of APA style, I would recommend you to go to this link. I have provided the link here. All right. Actually, for APA style, there are um, two ways of citing your references. Yeah, first, if you are citing it in the body text of your work, of your research, of your writing, which means that you write and then you need to acknowledge certain citation that you have made in the research. So this is called in-text citations. Another form of citation is called references. I think you know this. These references are put at the end of your article. And in comparison to the in-text citation, references using APA style is far more details, far more comprehensive in comparison to in-text citation. As I mentioned just now, in-text citation, in in-text citation, you only cited the name of the author and the year of the publication. So what people would do, if they read your article and they found this citation, they will go to the references for the details of the references. Say for example, Haslina Ibrahim 1993, and the title of the book is Mohibah in Malaysia. This is published where? Published in article, say for example in journal Tafhim, and yeah, that's it. Maybe, yeah, that's it. Okay, I forgot also to mention, actually there are many editions. APA styles have many editions. If I'm not mistaken, now it's already 6 editions or 7 editions. The differences between the editions are not that major, but of course, some journals would say you have to follow certain editions because, um, it's more depending on the purpose, whether the journal would like the citation to be more precise, would the citation to be more extended. Some APA style in-text citations said that, well, you can put pages, some does not like pages, so the citation is without pages. So don't be surprised. These are style, and you can look at how the citation is made. Here I have I have also put here the example. As you can see, author surname. So for example, my name is Haslina Ibrahim. Instead of my name, I'll get my father's name, Ibrahim. Yeah, Ibrahim. And then date published, like just now, 1993. Title of source, Mohibah in Malaysia. Location in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, publisher IKIM. And if you have the article online, then you bring the link, the URL. But this is to be put in the list of references, yeah, not in the in-text citation. All right, now we go to another style. This is, well, I have not been using this style very much, but yeah, this is one peculiar style to the Harvard. That's why it is called Harvard style. Yes, some similarity with the APA style, yeah, but then you will find that um, there is some what you call that, specific way of arranging it, yeah. So you see APA style is similar, yeah. APA style is used in the US, Harvard University, and is the most well used referencing style in the UK and Australia, and this is very widely used in humanities studies. All right. Okay, so this is the way how you cite for the APA style. You can see that you know, the author's name. So like for example, my name here, Ibrahim Haslina, and then the year of publication, and the title is put in italic. Yeah. And then if you have the edition of the book, you put the edition, and this is, then you have the place of publication and the publisher. Okay, but this is put in the references. This is put in the references. Um, okay, it is also important to highlight that in Harvard referencing style, um, um, you need to observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, these 5 items. Yeah, these 5 items. Let me put my picture somewhere else. Yeah. So normally for references list, you have to have separate sheet. You cannot put it in, say for example, together with the text. So you need a complete separate sheet at the end of your document, and then organize the references alphabetically by the author's what you call it, surname. Yeah. If you don't find the name of the author, then the order should be come the title should be come first. Yeah. Mm. And if there are multiple works by the same author, then you need to arrange the list by the date, the earlier dates, followed by the later date. Yeah. If it happened that one particular year, the author published the same works, then you have to arrange the according to the alphabetical, the title according to the alphabetical. Okay, and it is double space. There should be full blank line of space between each line of text. Yeah, so double spacing between one reference to another. Yeah, but say for example, if you type and the information is longer, it requires the next uh, sentence or the next line, then uh, you do not give space to it. Yeah, single spacing. Yeah, but from one reference to another reference, you need double spacing. Contentful references for all in-text references used. Wow, this is comprehensive. So I mentioned just now, this full references is only put in the reference list, but for Harvard referencing style, this is put in the text. You know, the whole lot information about the material is put in the text. Wow. So you find that there's a little bit of distraction in your article, because say for example you cite from me, and then you have the bracket, and then you have all the informations about my book, you know, in full. And so this is quite extensive. Yeah? But it depends. It depends. Some people are, you know, some people like to do this, and some people do not like, you know. Okay, now let's take a look at the in-text citation with, oops, sorry about that. Okay, so I think I got it wrong just now. Let me check again, because okay, this is for the reference list. I'm so sorry. The full citation or the full list is put under the reference list, yeah, not the in-text citation. Because I look at here, contain full references for all in-text references used. You know, I got it wrongly. It means that whatever in-text citation that you have earlier, you have to make sure that they are put or included in the references list. I hope you don't get mixed up. Okay, here this is what happened to the in-text citations. The in-text citation is just like APA style, but in APA style, you put the name, including the year and the page, if you want to include the page all together in the bracket. But for Harvard referencing style, you have two ways of indicating it. Either you put the name outside the bracket or you put the name inside the bracket. In-text citations contain the author or editor's year of publication and page number. I think this is what remarkably or importantly differentiate between Harvard referencing with APA style, because Harvard referencing, either you put outside and then you put the page, or you put inside together with the page. And there is also another style. It is called MLA style. It is actually MLA, Modern Language Association Citation and Formats. And this is used in linguistic study. As you can see from the name, it is Modern Language Association. So what are the areas of research that are familiar with this style of referencing? So you have, like, for example, linguistic studies, language arts, cultural arts, and humanities discipline. Now it's already 8th edition of the MLA manual. You can click at this link and you can read in details about the MLA style. So what is the MLA format or MLA style? The author page method of in-text citation. When it comes to in-text citation, so you have the author page method. This means that the author's last name and the page number. Then you have this way of citing the author. So you have his last name and the page number. You don't have the year, but you have the page number. And then how is it the references is the references are listed down. It is listed down. They are listed down in the works cited page. So not references, but it is put works cited page. So how do the what you call that, the order of citation is put? So for example, my name is Haslina Ibrahim. Haslina, the title of the what you call that, the person who wrote the article, the author, and the contributor, version, number, publication date, and location. With regard to in-text citation, okay, so you can see how this is cited, how using MLA citation. For example, this particular author by the name of Wordsworth, So either you can put his name in the text and then put in bracket the page, you have this option, or you rephrase or you cited the sentence fully and then you put it in the bracket. So words worth page 263. So you have like 3 ways of incorporating in-text citation using the MLA style. I think the rest you can. Okay, now what about Vancouver system? The Vancouver system this is peculiar about Vancouver because it has numbering referencing style commonly used in medicine and science. So this Vancouver system is used in medical findings or publication as well as science. So the most remarkable item about Vancouver style is the numbering. And you can also refer to these guides to get the detail of citation style. Okay, I am more interested to talk about the Chicago manual style because this is what we have been exposing with, and this is also the format of your thesis. On top of this Chicago manual style, we have also the format of footnotes, especially for IRK. And when you do Chicago manual style, you have to remember that you use footnotes and not endnotes. This is IIUM format. Of course, Chicago manual style has some similarities, a number of versions. But what UIA is using is, footnote style, and the references are put at the end of the article. Okay. So it is a time-tested guide to style. I mean, most people subscribe to it. Um, so it has notes bibliography system used in arts and humanities, and author date system used in physical, natural and social sciences, especially in the area of social sciences. For Islamic studies, most of us prefer this one, notes bibliography system. Okay, now author date. This is just like APA style. This is just like APA style. As mentioned here, author date is very similar, for instance, with APA style. But then if you are using this notes bibliography system, then you are using footnotes. Yeah, you're using footnotes at every page, at the bottom of the page. So the citations themselves are formatted differently from the way they appear in author date. If you want to, I think you already know how we, cited in the text. Say for example, Ibrahim said, and then you have the numbering of your footnote. Say number 1, you click footnote, then the number 1 appear, and then you put down there what you want to articulate about Asina Ibrahim and his work, if it is important. Otherwise, you can just, if you mention the item for the first time, you bring in the footnotes the detail of that sources. But if, say for example, you already cited that in another pages in the same article, then what you do, you use either put the name, comma, yeah, the surname, comma, and then the title, comma, and then page. That would be enough. Actually, there are many styles also for this type of citation, but you can go and check in here, in the source that I'm using. Yeah. So this you can refer. Another style is called Turobian style. Yeah, Turobian style is a very specific style by someone named Kate Turobian. Even her work uh, exists until today, and I believe that the University of Chicago is adopting this style. Okay, it has more or less the same way with Chicago manual style, but then say for example, if it is bibliography style, has a superscript number in the text and a footnote at the bottom of the page, as well as bibliography at the end of the document, seem to be similar with um, uh, Chicago manual, right? Except that there are two ways of citing it. So either you use the bibliography style or you use the auto date style, just like in APA. So for example, you read Wilfred Cantwell Smith in 2011, then you put Smith 2011, yeah, without the comma. You'll check with the material, because I've never used Turobian style. I've never actually encountered any work using Turobian style, because maybe if I want to find materials in Turobian style, I have to refer to the work published by the Chicago University, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, University of Chicago. So this is a work written by this author, yeah, Kate L. Turobian, a guideline for students in Chicago how to do the referencing. All right. So I'm done with all this type of referencing. I would say that as a student of IRK, you have no other choice but to use Chicago Manual Style and footnotes. So you need to familiarize yourself with Chicago Manual Style. And I hope that I'm giving you the link here. So please go to the link and read the whole lot, how to cite or how to list down the references. Say, for example, there are many works written by the same article. Yeah, or there are many collaborators. So how do you arrange the name of the contributors of that article? So you can go to this. All right, I'm going to I'm going to discuss another important work, another important aspect of research, which is, I'm so sorry, I have to switch off this. I'll go to the slides here. Zotero. Have you heard of the word Zotero? Yeah. If you have not, well, this is your first time knowing Zotero. Um, I will try to make another, let me also close this here. I will try to make another video specifically on Zotero, but here I will just introduce what Zotero is for you. Now, if what we have discussed earlier, they are called referencing style. Okay, what is Zotero? Zotero is a referencing tools. It helps you to make citation easier, list down the bibliography easier without you not having to do it manually. And what is more interesting about Zotero is because it is free of charge. Of course, if you a lot of references, you are charged. For example, I have an account, I think I paid 25 USD, if I'm not mistaken, per year. So I can have my references as many as possible based on the quota given by Zotero. So actually Zotero is like having a library in your desktop, in your laptop. As you can see here, um, you can actually store many of the materials that you have consulted earlier for making particular research. So you will not be um, missing those materials. It will be remain in your desktop. You see, so you have digital library on your desktop. So you need not to go to the library. This is um, this is different century altogether. Of course, we can go to the library, but we can also work from home. We can also work from wherever we are if we have better internet connection, and if we have list of, we have the libraries, the digital library in our desktop. Okay, so what Zotero help us to do is to organize the references without us meddling into it. We just tell the system and the system will arrange for you. Say, for example, you are citing from my book, Asina Ibrahim, 1993, Muhibah and Religious Pluralism. So what you do, you can just go to your library, click that particular book, insert, and already the information is put in your text. And you can even choose which particular version that you are familiar with. You can also choose um, the older version, the later version, depending on the journal. Okay, so I've given you the link. I hope that you will be able to watch the link, and I'll try to make another video together with the link to reinforce your understanding. Okay. These are among the things that you can do when you use Zotero. You can add material, you can add files, and then you can update. Yeah? And you can say, for example, you have a PDF, but you do not know how to cite it because some informations are not clear. So you can just right click and you tick what you call that, retrieve metadata, and the system will be able to trace automatically and let the references ready for you without you having to do it manually. This is what I like about Zotero. For your information, I've been using Zotero I think since 2000, maybe 2013. I've been using Zotero fully, using Zotero. All right. So, well, we will go to all this later on. But before I wrap up for today's lecture, I would like also to introduce you. This is one of the reputable referencing tools apart from Zotero. As a matter of fact, this is widely used, especially people from human sciences and as well as from any other areas. But uh I learned Mendeley as well, and inshallah it's beautiful. It functions the same way Zotero, except that if you're using Mendeley, you cannot use footnotes. The system does not recognize footnotes. You have, even though you use Chicago manual style, you will have to do it in text citation, like APA style, except that as you can see, either you put the name outside, you put the name inside, you put the the pages and the year of publication. So sometimes it can be very confusing lah, between the Chicago manual style with the APA style, especially with regard to in-text citation. And personally, I would prefer Zotero because it is user-friendly, but Mendeley is also user-friendly. Mainly, the reason why I don't use Mendeley is because you cannot shift from Mendeley to Chicago manual with footnote style. Because Mendeley can only read APA style or any style that is near to APA style. All right. So I think that's about it, dear students, with regard to how to cite references and referencing tool. I put here Zotero and Mendeley. You can learn both of them. You can also learn one of them and master the tools so that you are able to speed up your writing. And you need not to write manually, comma, make sure, it is italicized. Some of the information that you need are included. For example, sometimes you overlook the addition, you overlook the volume. Yeah? But with Zotero and Mendeley, with a click of a finger, you can get everything automated um, in your text or in the references. Say for example, you go to the library and you click Haslina Ibrahim Muhibah 1993 using APA style. Once then you click there, it will appear on the text of your research as Ibrahim, comma 1993 automatically. So you need not to worry whether you miss the comma or whether you miss the brackets, because you have automated that in your library. So that's about it, student. Thank you very much. All the best. Let me try to make a video on Zotero and see how you are able to learn this, and inshallah in our consultation we'll try to practice the uh, the skill, the new thing that you learn. All the best. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you again.